science class videos with great care and great fun. The elements. Cadmium, an informational video. What am I kidding you? This is informational, but not like, how was English class invented? Kind of informative. This is teenage informative. Okay, so now your question right now should be, what's cadmium not? Oh my god, you just texted me. Okay, so now just before we start, I'm going to assume that everybody knows some sort of background information on the periodic table. So if not, you shouldn't be watching this one, and two, go look it up for your benefit. Okay, so some general background information on cadmium. So it has the atomic number 48, which is ironically number 48 on the periodic table. Crazy how that works. So it has the atomic weight of 112.4, which is really nice. And the periodic symbol is CD. No, this does not mean compact disc. You cannot listen to music on cadmium. And this is a standard atomic notation. Okay, so now just a small bit of hindsight into cadmium. So it's old. So, like, really old. It was discovered in 1817. Cadmium also comes from the Greek word cadmia. Okay, so feta cheese does not seem to be the only cool thing to come out from Greece. So there's some words too. So there may be a few of you that say, isn't it Latin too? And you would also be correct. So according to periodictable.lanl.gov/48.sthtml, so the Los Alamos National Laboratory, it also comes from the Latin word cadmia, so they're actually pretty similar. I'll put the writing in there. So yeah. So now some might ask, is there a use for such a wondrous thing? And well, yes, you can say kind of. It is used in alloys with low melting points, and it's used in alloys with a high level of fatigue resistance because it resists fatigue really well. And about 60% of its entire use though is dedicated to electroplating certain other things. So you can electroplate, I don't know, car parts and stuff with it. It's also used in certain solders and NiCad batteries. We'll attach a picture of this. And it's kind of also used as a barrier for nuclear fusion. Oh my god, that sounds so awesome. And all that neat stuff that comes with it. Remember though, it's really toxic, so yeah, don't touch it. It was also often used in old black and white TV sets, the ones that your grandparents had when they first came out in the 50s, that kind of stuff. Okay, so unsafe behavior can lead to some very unwanted consequences. I wonder what those could be. Okay, so it's generally found in factories and should not be breathed in on a regular basis. It's really bad for your lungs and your overall health. So solder fumes for things that it's used in have been found to cause serious long-term effects as well as potential death. The electroplating baths that it's used for, which consists of over 60% of its use, cause the same effects and should, the solder fumes and the electroplating baths should be avoided unless absolutely necessary, you need to solder it and you don't have a face mask, which in that case you shouldn't work there, or you should demand one, or unless you need to do the electroplating process. So now that we have some general safe handling, how would we go about disposing of it? So since cadmium is used in batteries, disposing of said batteries all depends on municipality. Some have specific drop-offs for batteries, but most, or if not all municipalities, warn that batteries should not go in the regular environment as it is bad for the regular and general environment. So don't do it. So going about the electroplating bath process and the other uses, that also all depends on companies. Most of them are filtered and reused. The solder is just recycled with the electronics that it goes for, and etc. So there's some knowledge there to go with it. Kitty, come back. Okay, so storage forms also vary depending on what state it's in. Okay, so electroplating baths should always be held in a ceramic container when not in use. so buildup doesn't occur. Batteries also should not be stored in extreme heat or cold conditions. Always make sure to read the packaging labels when using cadmium-based household products, such as rechargeable batteries. Going back to the beginning, if you can remember that far, we didn't really touch bases on how cadmium was discovered. The element was discovered in 1817 by German chemist Friedrich Strachmann. I don't know how to say it, don't judge me. It was discovered when the chemist was testing like calamine, which is kind of like a zinc kind of thing, I believe. And it contained an orange, yellowish glow, while the other samples did not. And Friedrich could tell that the sample was different, and the rest is history, my friends. Just like that, the element was created. Although we are talking about the element as a general, how do we get our hands on it? Cadmium is a zinc impurity, and it's found actually really close between it. It's formed in between zinc and mercury, and is usually extracted at the same time as zinc. After that, it's just separated by a mechanical means, so heat or light or electricity or something like that, and is separated to make the cadmium ore and the zinc ore. A cool little fun fact is that pure cadmium is actually really difficult to find. It's just really neat that cadmium is kind of a rare substance, like in its pure form, and usually has small bits of zinc and other elements attached with it. So how might this element be used in the professional world? So most of the cadmium usage belongs to the electroplating processes, as well as the battery making process. Power up! Yeah! So naturally the professional usage, well, most of it in that case, belongs to the production and usage of this element. Factories and plating plants would be the first and foremost places for this element to be put to work, and the manufacturing processes.